I want to talk about my new katana and why I think it is one of the best zombie swords out there on the market. The katana has a lot of features that lend itself well to making it a great decapitating weapon. Now, let's cover one of the first things that I really enjoy about the katana, and that is that I am an out-of-shape man, but it was designed for a Japanese man who was 5'3". Well, guess what? A 5'3" Japanese man who's really in peak physical condition has about the same muscle strength as me, out-of-shape, big American guy, okay? So the katana is designed for a much smaller person, which means I can swing it with the same efficiency that they could. They probably got more stamina than me, but I can swing it just as hard as they can and get the job done. Now, the next thing that I really enjoy about the katana is the fact that it doesn't weigh very much. Okay, a katana weighs about the same as Dirty Harry's 44 Magnum. So we're not talking about a 7-pound, rifle. We're talking about a 2.5-pound sword. So sword and scabbard are probably right around 3 pounds. So you throw 3 pounds on your back and you're not exactly wearing yourself out as you're walking through zombie curse lands, and you still are going to have your other backpack equipment and other stuff. So again, the katana can also be used by men and women, whereas some swords just are too big and too bulky and require too much muscle, and they really aren't transitional. You have to be really in shape to use some swords. Like if you gave me a William Wallace greatsword and I cut a zombie's head off with it, I would then have to stick it in the ground, take a drink of water, do my asthma inhaler, and then take a nap afterwards. But the katana, I can pretty much swing all day. On the flip side of that, if you give me a nice heavy-duty cavalry sword, that can cut a human head off, but it's only one-handed. It's all nose heavy. There's no balance to it. And you have to swing it like that. And it's really hard to keep swinging it back and forth because after a few swings, my arm wants to pull out of its socket. So the way the katana is designed and who it was designed for makes it very good for big, out-of-shape American man me. Now, on my back is where I prefer to carry it, because you don't want to be knocking it around and running it into things, giving away your position to the zombies. Now, with it on your back, you have to reach all the way down and grab as close to the handguard as possible. As you lift up, it won't clear the scabbard if it's the normal length katana. So you have to be able to pull the scabbard down and away like that. So you have to give yourself a little bit of play on your sling. Alright, so katana's clear. You have to be able to pull it loose like that. And now that the katana's clear, the thing about it is it's a two-handed weapon, which means as you swing the katana, you push out with this hand, and with this hand you pull back. So you're doing this motion with it. So you get more power out of it than most other swords because you're able to flick like that. Also, if you're properly using your katana, as you're bringing it around on your target and you're flicking it, you're also moving your back foot back and you're turning your torso. So you're using your arms. You're using both arms in contrasting ways to give it the most force, and you're using your torso and your body movement to give it more power, and you're slicing down through your opponent's neck and cleaving off their head. Alright, I want to show you a little something about this. This is the Hanwei Practical XL katana. It's under $300, and that little mark on the blade means that it's differentially hardened. It's very hard to find a differentially hardened weapon for under the $300 mark. They don't make many of them. This is a Battle Ready Katana, and what that means by differential hardening means that they covered it in clay, wiped off the sharp edge, heated it up super hot, and then stuck it in water. What does that do? That makes the sharp part of the edge extremely hard, and it makes the back spine of the sword remain soft. So, why do you want a soft spine and a hard edge? Hard edge holds an edge, cuts better. Soft spine means that when you hit a solid object like that, instead of snapping the sword in two, it actually will absorb the energy and the blade will flex and vibrate. So they've got a combination of hardness and flexibility built into the sword, and the Japanese blacksmith and armorers who designed this were geniuses to figure that out. They basically figured out how to get the best of both worlds. They get the sharpest edge, but they get the flexibility of a normal sword to where it won't break in battle. Alright, another thing about the katana that lends itself well is the fact that it has the two hands. So if you cleave and get it lodged into something, you can pull it out. You can also thrust it forward with both hands. So again, compared to a single-handed sword, which you could do that with, or do that with, you get a whole lot more power, two hands, and a lot more power to pull it out with two hands. So biggest problem when fighting zombies is getting your blade stuck in a zombie and having to let it go and lose it. Katanas are a lot easier to recover. Now, also because the katana is designed, and if you know how to properly use it, you can swing and swing and swing again, and you can keep swinging it a lot longer and cutting through your opponents for a longer duration than most other weapons, and that's just because of the way it's designed and the weight. So that's just a little bit on my new katana and why I think it's great. Also, if you do get a katana like this, make sure that you also invest the $10 to $20 to get the practice katana, meaning the wooden one or the plastic one like Cold Steel sells. And the reason behind that is when you practice with it, because it's martial arts, you want to practice with a weapon that you don't hurt yourself with. Just like you want to practice drawing your gun with snap caps in it. Alright, so it's very important that if you buy the katana and you're not used to it, that you practice all movements with the bokken or the wooden sword before you actually go through them and get all those movements down and remembered so that you don't end up harming yourself. And that's just one of the things about handling sharp pointy weapons is if you're going to swing them around, you better know how to swing them first, and you better practice before you swing them, because you don't want your learning curve to be cutting your foot off. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good one.